Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Today, we're going to be reacting to Carl Jobs' latest video and make a real quick correction here. It's a great video, by the way. I'm going to put a link down below. But the last question that he asked is, regarding the bubble and who's going to be held responsible for it, right? Guys, there's bubbles in markets all the time. Real estate, stocks, and you have one here in the video game market. Having a bubble in a market is a natural event. It's part of the market. People make money going up and people make money going down, right? If you sold the game, right? If you're the one selling the game at the high price, you're making a lot of money, right? And if you want to buy them, you can buy the same game going down, right? You can sell your game for $1.5 million, right? And they put it up on auction and it goes down to $800,000. Well, you buy your game back, you just made a cool $700,000 with the game and you still own it, right? You can make money on the market going down. The problem isn't the market going down, right? The problem is market manipulation, right? That's the illegal part. If you inflate a market artificially, that is considered illegal, right? Manipulating whatever market you are dealing in or creating. You can create an artificial market, right? That's how a lot of these crypto guys get busted, because they'll create a market that doesn't exist, right? These things, could have no value at first. Maybe they could have value once people start paying for them. But if they pull out or they have an undetermined amount of coins, whatever they are, that are undisclosed to the public, well, that changes the value of the coin, right? If you say you only have, 10,000 in circulation, and all of a sudden it turns out that you have 1 million in your pocket that you're going to dump in the market, well, that's going to make a huge difference to the price of those coins, right? So manipulating the market is the problem. People create bubbles all the time. There's idiots paying way too much for things all the time. Right? Some idiots are going to pay for Amico Home, for example. Some people are paying, $15 for Astro Smash. You can't help what people are going to spend their money on, and it happens all the time, right? People are always chasing easy money. And if they think something is going to make them, 10x returns, then they're going to jump on it, especially if they have no idea what they're doing. Now, we're talking about speculators. These are people that just do that, right? But in the real context, there's a lot of speculators out there that know what they're doing. They're speculators professionally. They do it for a reason. What we're talking about here is the everyday Joe, or people that know nothing about the market. They know nothing about video games, and start buying into these huge, ridiculous prices prompted by FOMO, prompted by, retro gaming channels, that are promoting this kind of stuff. And they grade their games. They send them into here and there to get them graded. People fall for that stuff, and they never ask themselves, is this person in front of me getting any sort of benefit from presenting or representing this company or representing these items, or what is their involvement? That's why it's so important. Right? What we harp on here, what we harped on the Arcade 1-Up situation, what we harped on the Amico situation, that if you have, right, a close relationship with these folks, whoever you are representing on your videos, you need to disclose it. Right? You need to disclose it, because you can influence people to do things that maybe in other ways they wouldn't have. That's why the government has regulations for this stuff. And of course, there's still a case out there, right? There's still a case out there, and we can see how these prices are dropping. Carl's video is great in representing the prices, how they fluctuated, right? And, you can see it when a lot of the retro gamers, the bigger channels out there start selling their collections. That tells you that the market is peaking, right? They want to get top dollar and they want to get out, right? As much as they told you they love their games, the minute they can make a buck, right? they're out. Not everybody has the same obsession, aka illness, aka game hoarder abilities that some of us have, right? So that I do, right? I keep my collection's worth a lot of money, right? But for me, it's not about the money. For me, it's just creating that space for me, right? It's not the biggest collection, but is it worth money? Yes. But did I accumulate it for the purposes of making money? No. And that's what these speculators did. They only bought these video games, right? The only purpose they bought these video games was for the purposes of flipping them and making money over time. And when you try to do that and the prices are inflated due to a bubble and or market manipulation, whatever the case may be, that's when you lose this kind of money. That's when you're losing 50%, right? That's when you're losing 70%. That's when you're losing 90%. And then you start causing a panic, right? Then people that bought, they could have bought a game for $10,000 and they're seeing the market crash. They say, screw it. I'm going to put mine up for sale. I'd rather lose $1,000 than lose, $8,000. But what happens when you have 10, 20, 30, 50 people selling their $10,000 cartridges at the same time? It's not worth $10,000 anymore. It's worth whatever somebody bids for it. And if there's a abundance of what you have out there, it's going to be harder for you to sell it at top price because there's people out there willing to deal. Well, the next guy might take $7,500. Well, the next guy will take $7,000. Because you're looking at, what do you want to lose? Do you want to lose $9,000 or do you want to lose $3,000? What's better, right? You made a bad purchase. So from the crash, you go to the panic. We haven't seen the panic yet. But when you take in inflation, when you take in the fact that right now you have like 2-income homes finding it hard to afford groceries, right? Finding it hard to pay rent. That speculative money isn't there anymore. Not with this economy, not with this inflation. That money is gone. So that panic, right, is coming. Is the market crashing? Yes, but it hasn't crashed yet. There's still money out there, right? You try to buy some Saturn games, they're still expensive. For the everyday Joe, these games are still expensive. So just because that part of the market, right, the speculator part of the market, the people that, grade their games and put them in boxes and what have you, that's crashing. That doesn't mean that the everyday Joe is going to see those discounts right away. Nobody, the regular retro gamer's not buying $2,000, $5,000 games out there. So they might not feel it right away, but those collectors, those investors, those speculators, they're taking it in the shorts. And it hasn't even really begun yet. We're waiting to panic to set in. All right, guys, that was just my reaction to his video. I'm going to put a link down below. It's a great video. You guys go ahead and watch it. He documents the price changes and all that stuff. And let's just keep an eye on for it. Hey, be a wise shopper, man. There is no easy buck. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.